Okay.
Hello and welcome. My name is Corey Center, and I help experts clarify their message so they can transform their life's work into their legacy to inspire future generations. I am here with three of my favorite leadership experts, Linda Patton, Tony Thayer, and Terry Ann Richards. And over the next 5 days, we're going to be exploring the truth about leadership and how to make sure you're not that leader. So you can discover the key challenges you're facing in leadership and take the right actions to create more time and money for the work you're doing. You know that leader, don't you? The one who has to remain in control, keeping a tight rein on their team, making sure everything goes their way, using ancient strategies that just don't seem to work anymore, or at least not the way they once did, and they work so much they don't have any time for anything else. Let's make sure you're not that leader. Today, we're going to discuss why it feels so hard to be a leader and what you can do about it. So, we're going to start with my good friend Linda. Will you please give a quick version of your journey into leadership? And also, I'm curious, why do the most popular leadership styles set leaders up for failure?
Thank you, Corey, so very, very much. And it's great to be here. My journey actually was relatively simple. I started in the military. I went through all of the grades and ended up retiring as a major. So I learned the command style of leadership. I got really, really good at it, and I loved working out of my head. It was easy, it was effortless until I got out of the military and I went into corporate. And there again, many of the leaders that I saw were in the command style, even the women. It was like we emulated each other, and it worked, but it really didn't. And then I got out and I became an entrepreneur, and it definitely didn't work as an entrepreneur. And what I learned was that I needed to go from my heart. The hard part was, for me, the heart was too soft. Yes, it gave us creativity, collaboration, cooperation, community, and all those great things. But what I found was that my team was running to the hills and my clients were one and done. So I needed to find something that was a combination, is how it turned out. I was doing a workshop and we were talking about command versus influence. And I said, there's got to be a word for bringing them together to create that fabulous dance between the command and the influence so that you aren't that leader. And we came up with the term confluential leadership, which brings together the best of the head, the organization, the structure, and strategy, and combines it with the heart, who leads. And she brings creativity, empathy, compassion, community, and all those great things. When you bring them together, you have an extremely powerful leader.
Awesome. It seems like the command is too much in the head, so people don't feel connected, and influence is in the heart, so people aren't quite sure what needs to be done. These kind of the main things going on there. Awesome.
Exactly.
I've been under both leaders, and neither are effective. So thank you for that. That's amazing.
You're welcome.
Now, Tony, curious also of your journey into leadership, and also what happens when leaders try to lead on their own.
Thanks, Corey. I'm Tony Thayer, and I've spent over 35 years in corporate business-to-business sales and management. And I was always the manager in a hurry to get things done. I was always trying to show my ability to impact the organization and the clients. And I accomplished a lot. I rose to vice president of sales and marketing, and I turned a company around, and I started a new division for companies. But it was always really was, for me, it was from the head. And I worked through other people and I brought them along, but there was just a lot of push. I was, when I left that career for health reasons, I realized it hadn't really been fulfilling. And then because of some further health needs, I ended up really starting to look at neuroscience and looking at the science of happiness. And I realized how much I hadn't added to my plate there. And reflecting back on it, what happens when the leader doesn't really bring his people along, I was charming, I was engaging, I really brought my people into the day-to-day management of our work, but we weren't really working on their agendas, we were working on my agenda. I was always out there with it. So there were times where I would get some pushback, or I would just find that things weren't moving along. And what I've learned since then just really blows my mind, and it so excites me to bring it to this this program we're running, because when you do engage your people and you're making their work part of their lives and being touched by that, and making work about us instead of about my agenda, it really opens people up to where they can not just have their heart in it, but their mind and spirit as well, so that they're more creative, they're more engaged, and it's a mutual celebration when things happen. And that mutual celebration then becomes self-reinforcing, so that it's, if you have to work 8 or 10 hours a day, you might as well make that time fun on purpose.
Right.
For everybody. And this is really, to me, this is the ultimate type of inclusion. It's not just including, different types of people. It's including everybody fully, so they can really grow and become their full potential and contribute that back.
Awesome. I love that. And when you don't have that connection, it's just nobody knows what they're doing. It's hard to trust the leadership and hard to move together as a team when the leader's just on their own, doing their own thing. I love that. You got to bring everybody in, or you just miss the whole potential that the team has. Thank you, Tony.
And what's beautiful about that is the serendipity of discovering things of potential you never even realized were possibilities.
Right? Yeah, the team, your team are people, and they have untapped potential and things that they can offer that without connection, you'd never know they had. So that's awesome. Thank you, Tony. Terry Ann, also, I'd love to hear the quick version of your leadership story. And also, I'm curious, why do most leaders miss their targets on such a regular basis?
So yes, I'm Terry Ann Richards. I've been in business for myself for 16 years. I've had 8 different organizations that I've either bought, started, or partnered in. About 5 years ago, I made the leap and became a leadership development coach, working with entrepreneurs and leaders worldwide, with the goal of working with them on the inside out. What I've come to recognize or learn is that for you to be successful in life, you need to have your inners right before you can have anything external be successful. And so why do leaders, entrepreneurs miss the mark? Is that how you said it?
Yeah, they miss their targets. I mean, I know I've been an entrepreneur for many years too, and missing targets is a common thing that we talk about. But why is that?
You know what? It's lack of focus. There's a lot of shiny new objects out there. I'm certainly dazzled by most sparkly things. And the reality is if I don't know where I actually want to end up in the next 6 months or in the next year, it becomes really easy to say yes to multiple different things, whether that's multiple meetings, multiple projects, multiple employees, whatever it is. If it's not a part of the bigger plan, you'll lose focus and you'll spread yourself too thin. And, there's that saying, what is it? The jack of all trades, master of none. You need focus to be an expert at something. And so focus is where so many individuals fail, which is why they don't achieve their goal.
That makes perfect sense. I can just think of all the times I'm distracted and just like, I wasted 10 minutes here and I wasted 20 minutes here and I wasted 15 minutes here. And that call was a great hour, but I didn't get anything productive done on that that's actually moving me forward. So without that focus, we just waste tons of time that we don't really have to waste, really. So thank you, Terry.
15 minutes a day is 12 8-hour workdays a year. So do that math in your head.
Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's intense. Right. So every 15 minutes a day that we waste adds up quick over the year. Awesome. So it seems the reason that leadership feels so hard then is because you're either trying to use a style that just doesn't work, right? You're using one of the 2 leadership styles that is either command, very head heavy, we're like, we're going here, we're doing this, suck it up, this is what's happening. Or we get the other side of the influence, which is like, hey, I want everybody to feel good and we're creating connection here and we're doing some awesome things, but nobody knows where to go. Also, when you try to lead on your own, it breaks trust with the rest of the team because they're not in it, right? They have nothing to connect to within this business, right? So they're going to leave, right? Why would they stay if they're not feeling valued? And then of course, the other main challenge in leadership is we get distracted by shiny objects that seem like really good ideas at the time. But the reality is, if we're wasting 15 minutes a day, that's 12 8-hour workdays we're missing a year. We don't have that kind of time to be wasting as leaders. Now, the first step to change is awareness, right? Knowing where you are now, where you want to go, and what the gap is. So if you're ready to take your leadership to the next level, click the link below this video and take the leadership assessment so you can see where you are, where you're going, and what is not happening or what the gap is that's preventing you from becoming the leader that you're meant to be. Now, for the next few days, the next 4 days, I'm going to be meeting with each one of these amazing experts one-on-one. We're going to come back together at the end to give a grand finale where we tie up everything that we talked about. But we really are coming together here to get you some gains in your leadership right now. So thank you so much, Linda, Tony, and Terry Ann, for being with me here today. It is always my pleasure. And make sure, for those of you who are watching us today, make sure you join Tony and I, where we're going to talk about why most teams distrust their leaders and what you can do about it. Come back tomorrow, and we will see you there.